In the name of God, the God of love, life, and wisdom. Welcome everybody. We decided that we will post a verse or two every day, and this series will called Learn a Verse Every Day. So hopefully we learn a verse every day and get to know Quran by every day and get closer to God and grow as humans and actualize our godly potentials and water our holy seeds. So let's begin. Day 0. We will begin from the last chapters till chapter Al-Fatiha, Alhamd. So you know that the Quran starts with the name of God and ends with the name of people. Even its name is Naas, and even the last verse is Naas. من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. It starts with God, ends with people. Shouldn't that be a sign that whoever, me, you, if we see the light, we gain knowledge, but we see God, His attribute, His names, read about Him, but we do not reflect that in our life, in our goals, in our everyday activity. Throughout life, we do make mistakes, of course, but do we amend? Do we reflect the light of God, what we saw? If not, then we should consider checking whether we truly saw the light. So why doesn't reflect? Do we become more kind like God? Do we become godly? Do we become more merciful, more forgiving, more just, more aware? This all attributes of God. So if we saw Him, we should reflect those in our being. One should also realize that the Quran ending and beginning are interlinked. Like, see for yourself, how does the Quran begin? It begins with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Praise be to God, the Lord of the worlds, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawm Ad-Din, master of, owner of the day of judgment. So it starts with divinity. Bismillah, Allah, in the name of God, and also with lordship, Lord of the worlds, Rabbil Alameen, and mastership, master of the day of judgment, owner of the day of judgment. But also see for yourself, how does the last chapter commence? It says, I seek refuge in the Lord of humanity, A'udhu bi Rabbin Naas, the master of humanity, A'udhu bi Rabbin Naas, Malikin Naas, Ilahin Naas, the God of humanity. Isn't this just linked together? It starts and ends with divinity, mastership, lordship, and mastership. So the Quran starts and ends with the trinity of lordship, divinity, and mastership, because this is the primary message of Quran and of monotheism. In other words, we need to go beyond believing in divinity and move towards embracing His lordship and His mastership, not just by merely confession, but through actual practice. What does Naas mean? Humanity has had various names assigned to it. For example, in the Quran it says Bashar. Bashar means the outer layers of the skin. The skin of animals is mainly covered with hair, feather or fur. Human skin, however, is exposed. Bashar indicates this external appearance. The other name is Bariya, the best creature. The creation without defects or deficiency. 3 other names have a common root, like Insan, Naas, which is this chapter, and Ens. So the Quran uses Insan whenever the specifics of a human being's personality and his character are of interest. For example, a human being is a creature of haste, chapter 21 verse 37, and truly he is most unjust and ignorant, chapter 33 verse 72. But whenever a humanity's social character or sentiments are being referred to, the Quran uses ends. Like in chapter 4 verse 6 it says, if you perceive in them sound judgment. Only humans live as a social unit or with social norms and customs, which means that only they have a social and civil life. The third designation for human is Naas, a reference to their ability to think and reflect, which makes it possible for them to ascend to a higher level of excellence, whereas other beings live in relative stagnation. Clearly, these 3 words are related to each other. One refers to humans' character, the next to their sociability, and the last one, their ability to think and reason. So, there are 3 names in the Quran which humans are called. One is Naas, people, which means their ability, it points to their ability to think and reason, which have some same root as Ens, and what was that? Ens, Naas, and I think it was Insan. Yes, forgot Insan, humans. So this chapter focuses on the last attribute, which is Naas, their ability to think and reason. Humans think, and by doing so, we are able to perceive and realize that our Lord, Master, and Godhood are in the One. This concept of Trinity considers these 3 attributes are part and parcel of the one and same reality. Numerous verses, in fact, refer to this concept. For example, we sent Moses with our signs and a manifest authority to Pharaoh, Haman, and Qarun. Chapter 40, verse 24. Pharaoh symbolizes deceit, Haman, military power, and Qarun, wealth. Like we in the pilgrimage, which is Hajj rituals, through 3 stands at 3 idols, all of which are held to represent 3 aspects in which humans can grow, stagnate, or decline if they fail to pay close attention. One is power, its wealth, and knowledge. The latter one is sometimes held to be knowledge is sometimes held to be love. Power means that humans may also depend upon that which is not God. An example showing deference to powerful individuals. This is considered polytheism and distance them from God. Likewise, they may view wealth as their hope for true sustenance. This does not mean that they have become atheists, but that their perspective has become blurred, another form of deviation. It's also possible that with respect to the heart, one who is enamored with love, culture, and art may one day attach himself or herself to that which is other than God. Anyone of these three aspects could lead one astray, according to the Quran. Pharaoh claimed to be all three. Ana Rabbukum al-A'la, I am your supreme Lord. He was not claiming to be the creator, but rather to have lordship over his people, as seen as he demanded to obey him without any question. His second claim was that he was their master, owner, and ruler, and also he had a complete jurisdiction over them. He says, O my people, is not the sovereignty of Egypt mine, and do these streams not flow beneath me? Chapter 43, verse 51. He claimed to be both Lord and divine, neither of which means the creator. When his magician became believers and followed Moses after they saw the signs, he proclaimed, لَاتَّخَذْتُمْ إِلَهًا غَيْرِي, if you take up any god other than me, I shall place you among the imprisoned. Thus, Pharaoh sought absolute control of all aspects within his jurisdiction. He alone gives order. He alone owns everything, and people have to obey him. And only he is worthy of love. When his magician accepted Moses' message, Pharaoh asked, أَآمَنْتُمْ لَهُ قَبْلَ أَنْ أَذَنَ لَكُمْ? Do you profess faith in him before I permit you? See that even faith, which is a heartfelt attribute, was how subject to his permission and his mercy. These causes of leading one astray are always present. Like someone may take their Lord and their honor and their love to be other than God, which will not grow him. If, like, for example, a tree has two masters, how would it grow? To whom it would listen? But if it has one Lord and obeys it, he's calm and can grow and listen to his orders. In this chapter, after we have acquired knowledge and are approaching the end of the book, God tells us to seek refuge in his three names. Which we will discuss in the next video, which will be verse 1, chapter 140, verse 1. And hopefully we will learn what these three names are. So to summarize this, the Quran begins and ends with Trinity. Not the Trinity of sharing, but the Trinity that our Master, our Lord, our Owner, and our God, our love, is the one and only God, not separate things or beings. All are in one true God, and we should always be careful to not obey or love or take as our master other than God, or love more people or things more than God, or take orders, unjust orders that ruins us or others from unjust people, and obey them whatever they say. Rather, we should obey them only in just and godly matters. Peace.